Good evening, folks. Apart from being full of cold, excuse me. Today we're renovating the very last room of our farm in Bulgaria, and today we've, for the first time in 6 years, we have a problem. I'll explain to you what I've done, and it's totally my own fault because I just made a bad decision. So this is our lounge. Our house is all done. Look, this is the kitchen. You know, all the bedrooms upstairs are done, the bathrooms are done, the guest rooms are done, everywhere's done. This was the last room. We don't use the lounge that much because it's an outdoor life here. We use it for a couple of months in the winter to maybe 3 months. So on our ceiling we had these plastic moulded tiles with probably in excess of 500 nails on display holding the tiles up. It didn't look great, and I've never liked this room. I can't warm to this room at all. So I thought first off we'll pull the tiles down, which came down really easy. I was quite intrigued as to what was underneath them. A part of me was hoping that there'd be some nice beams so we could stain the beams up, plaster in between them, paint that white, and I think that would have looked lovely. You know, this was an old farmhouse that we bought, so that would have been quite in-fitting. So 2 days ago we took the tiles off. Under the tiles was hardboard on batten. I pulled a lump of hardboard off to see what was underneath that, and it was this. I thought, okay, there's no beams on display. There are beams up there. There is a beam, but I've got probably 1.5 inches of mud and straw is what the ceilings are made from. Fantastic for insulation, not so fantastic to work with. So I thought I'm going to leave the hardboard up and I'm going to take my chances. I repatched up the bit that I took down, and I thought I'm going to take my chances and plaster it. That was 2 days ago. I'm not a plasterer. I've never plastered a ceiling in my life, and I know that hardboard is not really the right thing to try and plaster. I know that, but I thought I'm going to have a go anyway, because the other option would be to take everything down and start from the beginning. So 2 days ago I plastered the ceiling. Today, all chuffed with myself because it looked quite nice, it had all dried, and I've got all my paint brushes ready. I've got the paint in, and I was going to give it a first coat of paint. Messing about doing a few other little bits, all of a sudden, bang, the whole lot came down. All the plaster. In fact, I will quickly show you of the plaster. All 2 bags of it. It's my own fault for cutting corners. I know if there's any builders watching this, you're going to say, well, what an idiot, fancy trying to plaster over the top of hardboard. Yes, I know, but I was trying to cut corners and I shouldn't have done, and we really haven't, in 6 years of renovating this farm, we haven't come up against any problems or issues or dramas. So I took the whole lot down today. I took all the hardboard down, all the battens. These are the battens that were up there. Look at the size of them nails. Look. And this is what was underneath. This is the original ceiling. So I'm going to rebatten it, and I should have done this just in the first place. I'm going to rebatten it, I'm going to plasterboard it, and I'm going to plaster it. I know I'm going to get good fixings on the battens because these holes are where the beams are. And they go right along. So I can get good fixings of the battens onto the beams, so I know I can then fix the plasterboard onto the battens, and that'll all be good, and then I'll plaster it. Then I haven't got to worry. Totally my own fault, and that will teach me, although we're kind of at the end of the renovating, that will teach me to try and cut corners on the last job. It was a real pain, but you got to try and see the funny side of it, because otherwise you'd just cry. There's a bit of conduit there, look. That's got the light fitting on it. It's all good, it's all live. We have a new light socket on the wall there. On the plus side, we've got all new sockets on the walls, all new cable, all the way, because this room only had one socket, which was there, which wasn't too desirable, to be honest. In fact, there is the old socket. That's all we had in this room, and that's all we've had in this room for 6 years. So that's now gone. All new wiring, new cables. Television's going to go there, and that's going to be a feature wall. That'll be all tiled and painted a much stronger colour behind, all the way to the bottom. We've changed the petrol, moved the petrol, because that used to have a pipe from there coming along and then down. So we've now got a straight pipe, and it keeps it away from the door a little bit. So that's the dramas we've been having, and it's totally my own fault. I've been an idiot. I've tried to cut corners because I was probably getting lazy, and it doesn't pay to be lazy. We've been doing this for 6 years and I've never been lazy yet. But so that's what we're going to do. And I will post a video when it's all finished. And I'm going to try and post a little bit more content this year, because I don't do it that often, because I don't know how to edit videos and make them look all fancy and professional. So I'll keep it as raw as I can. But this is our lounge ceiling. Don't feel sorry for me, because it is my own fault. I'm going to take you outside and show you why we're doing inside work. How beautiful is that? Look at that. Apparently tomorrow we got up to another 50 centimetres, because it appears that we haven't had enough yet. There's my quad bike right under there. So that's why we're doing inside work. The last room of the house. And I've cocked it right up. Give myself another couple of days work. That'll teach me, won't it? We've taken barns down, we've built stables. We've done so much work here in 6 years. And I get it all wrong when it comes to doing the lounge. But I will put it right.